All right, we're live. What's going on here? I'm gonna test real quick to see if chatting works. Because what I really wanted to do is read out what is being chatted. No, okay. Let me mess with this a little bit. Okay. I get into the settings. Right, enable text to speech for notifications. But what are notifications? That might not be what I'm looking for. Really, what I'm wanting is just like, I want to know when someone chats with me. And I'm not exactly sure how to do that without like looking at the chat. Oh, one other thing I wanted to do, and I actually don't meant to do this before I came on. Is there a way to... no, that doesn't look like it. Alright, whatever. We'll do it later. Alright, let's get started. I am a full stack developer, engineer, software engineer. I've been coding professionally for the last 8 years, coding for the better part of, well, over a decade now. I mostly build websites, so working on front end using React, TypeScript, and I do a lot of my work on the back end with Node, TypeScript, AWS, do infrastructure as well. And the reason why I'm streaming in general right now, I'm wanting to learn more about game development, just want to do some like personal coding adventures. So I'll be working on like some kind of proof of concept stuff for games. I'm working on like a little just like playground to build out some features, do some testing in general. And gonna be doing some like algorithm stuff on LeetCode, and just generally doing other coding stuff. So right now I am messing around with with UI in Godot, just trying to get a better understanding of how it works. Where I left off yesterday, I was attempting to programmatically do some like sizing for the UI. And I was just messing around with different like elements, both on the editor and then also in code. Essentially what I want is just for this main menu, very simple, just centered, which I can do. And then I ideally would like each menu item to be a certain width and height, but then be essentially like expandable or be able to change size depending on the size of the window. But I haven't been able to figure out how to get like the aspect ratio stuff to work. So I think what I'm going to focus on right now is just getting the functionality I had previously, so the ability to like continue the game, start a new game, exit, load a game, get that functionality back working again, and then we'll go from there. And I'll probably stop messing with any of this size stuff, because I don't think it's going to be oh wait, actually I do want the margin, but I don't need the size. All right. Let's go back to the main menu. So we want to be centered. Oh, right. This is why. Okay, so when I was doing this theme override stuff, this was causing... no, wait. All right, back into confusion land here. Okay, so we want this to all be centered. On the margin container, we would like everything to be centered as well. I'm not seeing the option for that. Maybe it's the panel container. Oh yeah, anchor preset. So we want that to be centered. Okay, where was I? I was setting... I think it's related to... Oh yeah, when I'm programmatically setting the panel container node size, that's, so if I like comment this out, it's centered. And it's centered because panel container, the anchors preset is center. But for some reason, when I programmatically change the size, it removes that anchor preset. And so I was attempting to fix that in code as well. But I'm actually realizing I was doing the anchor or like the margin stuff on... Hold on, was I doing that here? Oh no, I was, yeah. So I was doing it, I was attempting to do it here, but it was not working. And I'm not sure why, but I think we're just gonna have to manually set the size of the container in the editor, which is fine. We'll just say like 400 by 400. Even that's putting it in the wrong spot, which is interesting. Why is that? Why did we lose size when I... Maybe this is why, actually. So, for some reason, when I set it to... Okay, full rectangle... What happens if I... It should be the whole... No. Fascinating. Okay, so we don't want full rectangle. We would like center. I wonder if that was why I was having an issue. No, but this isn't center. Okay, now it's centered. There's... I think that must be a bug in Godot. I'm really not sure why that happens. Okay, so we have a 400 by 400 theoretically. Yeah. And so the buttons are expanding to fill the space, which is fine. What I was hoping to be able to do yesterday was there's something called Flexbox in HTML, CSS, that allows you to do a couple of like, well, more than a couple, but a handful of nifty things. One of those is, it's called space between. So for whatever elements you have in that, in that class, it allows you to, so whether it's divs or whatever it is, it will allow you to put equal space between to fill up that entire container. You can't do that, it seems, in Godot, so you have to like manually calculate and place everything where you want it to be placed. I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. I do, however, want there to be less space in between everything here, so I'm going to increase the menu item heights a little bit. And it seems like I can do that here. Oh wait, actually whoops. Weird. Let's see if I change. Wow. The editor does not play nicely with the game itself. I would like this all to just be bigger. Everything needs to be larger. How do I reset? This was at 28. So weird. Don't need to be watching my own stream. Oh, okay, I think that's fine. If I just expand vertically, I think that does pretty much what I wanted to do. Although the margins, why aren't the margins working? Aren't these margins supposed to be? Oh, because I disabled them, which I didn't mean to do. Okay, let's try this again. Great, now we have proper margins. But I think the size of continue is smaller than new game. I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, I do, however, want the text on the button to be larger. So I need to figure out how to do that. I would expect that to be in this, text behavior, alignment center, text overrun, behavior. I'd expect that to be here. Let's look it up. Text change font size. Where resize my text in a label and button. You can't directly change the label's font size. You need to import a custom. Or you can scale up the whole label and button. Oh, control theme overrides. Okay. Theme overrides is a theme that I've been noticing. Font sizes. Let's just do 36. Try that. That looks better. But now I actually want the whole panel container to be more than 400 by 400. Say 1,000 by 1,000. I think, unfortunately, 1,000 by 1,000. Can you please work? I think I'm gonna have to set center again. Yep. I don't know why. What is that? Custom minimum size? Is that what I want? I mean, I must be doing something wrong in general, but maybe I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but this is Let's make the text, the font a little bit bigger, and then we'll move on to actually hooking up what I need to hook up here. That's interesting that it's showing those, even though they're in code. Fascinating. Let's make this 48. Try again. Okay, that's decent. That looks fine. Looks fine for now. So we need to go back and say when we click on, oh, I need to do this in code now. So these menu item scenes need signals. What is it? Connect? What is the signal callable? No, it's not connect. We want to say dot on. Okay, hold on. It's base button, button down. Dot. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. Base button. Button press, no. Emitted when the button starts being held down. Emitted when the button is toggled or pressed. So maybe it's I just need to wrap my head around. So b.connect. Okay, so I'm programmatically connecting the emit inventory item selected. Where even is that? What is inventory item selected? Okay, signal, emit inventory item selected. Oh, okay, when that is emitted, we run this function. Okay, so in the same vein then, when how do I expose that though? Because it's like, okay, what is it? Button down. Let's just do let's just create a new game then. I don't think this is gonna work. Oops. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Um, so on button down, we can, oh, I guess if we would do a signal button down. What's the syntax for this? Signal. I was saying like emit button down. Oh, I guess button down's already a signal defined, so you can't use that. Okay, signal emit button down. Emit, what is it? Button. Emit button down. Self dot emit. No. What is it? Emits the signal. Function emit is not found in base. Oh, it's the signal itself. So self dot emit button down dot emit, and nothing needs to be passed in, I think. So when that happens, on button down. I assume the whole stream heard that. Hey Darshan, how's it going? That voice might also get obnoxious. I just set it up in this stream to read out any chat messages just so I don't miss them, because I missed a couple on my previous stream. So I was so focused, but so okay. Let's get back here. So connecting. Emit button down. Now I'm just gonna start a new game. Oops. Script inherits from native type buttons, so it can't be assigned to what did I change? Node not found. Box container continue game button. Ah. That makes sense. Because this is no longer defined, so I will have to do that programmatically, which means this technically needs to happen after I do all the menu stuff. Actually, this should happen when I'm doing the continue button, whether or not I should display the continue button. But for now, I think this should be, nope. Script inherits from native type button, so it can't be assigned to an object of type margin container. What am I? Did I do something weird here? Oh, extends button. Weird. When did I do? Wait. What am I? Oh, something weird weird is going on here. Okay, hold on. Non-existent function instantiate and base margin container. This was working until I was emitting a signal. Why is this not working now? Oh, instantiate. What? Wait, what in the world is going on here? Hold on, how did I delete all that stuff? What happened? That's so weird. Wait, that's super strange. Okay. Let's get back to where we were. Signal emit button down. And then let's connect. Let's disconnect that. Let's reconnect it to menu item. Whoa, why is that? That's what happened. Why is that completely changing what menu item script is? That is not right. What's going on here? Button down. Yeah, pretty much. Well, especially, I mean, it shouldn't be, theoretically. Why did it appear there? It shouldn't be. You should read documentation, understand what needs to happen. But at the end of the day, like when you're learning anything new, there is an element of trial and error. All right, so on button down, we want to self dot emit button down dot emit. And really, we just want to okay, that's fine. Then we connect to emit button down, and when we do that, we start a new game on any of these buttons. Non-existent function in base margin container. In? Non-existent function in? Main menu of 30. What? It's so weird. So this function is called initialize. No, it's called instantiate. Why did I call it instantiate? I think I must have done that in my tiredness last night. I want it to be called initialize. Because instantiate is a protected function in a lot of scenes, so I don't want to override that or get myself confused. So initialize. Okay, that works. And okay, great. That starts a new game. This should all start a new game, even though they aren't supposed to do that. Great. So now we need to specify, can you assign a function to key in an object, like in a dictionary in Godot. Don't know, so we'll give it a try. But we'll say action in continue is underscore on underscore continue. Which let's do self dot on continue game button down. But we don't want to call it. We just, does that work? I don't know why that's coming up with that description. This might work. May as well give it a try. So actually, instead of doing on continue, let's just do what we're doing now. Which language is this? So this is there's a open source game development platform called Godot, and they have their own, I wouldn't call it proprietary, but their own language that they've created called GDScript, that you can use. You can either use GDScript or C#, that you can use with Godot. And I'm using GDScript, so it's kind of similar to Python. It's got a very similar syntax, but doesn't function quite the same. But it's functionally very, very similar to Python. Okay, self dot. Let's actually just exit everything for the moment. And then we will say connect it to item.get action. And then we run it. This should exit the game. Cool. That I'm amazed that works, but that's pretty awesome. So we'll do on continue for a new game. We'll say on new game button down. Oops. For load game, on load game button down, and exit on exit button down. And then those should all get connected properly. And now we only want to display the continue button. Well, first let's just test this to make sure it works properly. New game, yes. Great. I forgot to turn my flashlight on. Cool. We only want to show the continue button when save files are found. So in the case of, we only want to, okay. We only want to display the continue button. So we only want to add it to the parent scene. So if button text, oh no, sorry, if button text equals, this isn't the most ideal way of doing this. Let's actually do const continue text equals continue const new game text. So I'm specifying these as constants because I want to make sure if I'm changing the name of any of these that I only have to do it once. Otherwise I have to change like continue, new game, load game multiple times, which isn't ideal. So exit. So we'll say continue text is, oops. Continue text, new game text, oops. Darshan, do you code at all? Load game text and exit text. So when button text equals continue text, we want to do something slightly different. Else, so if it's continue, we want to check. Oh, actually, let's do that up here. This will be a little bit easier. So we'll check this, and we'll say var show continue equals save files dot size equals sorry, is greater than 0. Oh no, actually we'll do, sorry, true if save files dot size is greater than 0, else false. So I don't need this. So if button text is continue text, and no, okay, I guess, I mean, I don't really like doing this, but if button is continue text and show continue is true, then we can also add the scene. Otherwise, we'll always add the child scene. Okay, so now we hit play, and we should be able to start a new game. That all works properly. And continuing should do the same. So CO9 was the seed. CO9 is still the seed. Great. And then I assume loading should also work. Can load any of these. Perfect. Oh, let's actually delete everything because I want to see if the continue button. This is kind of working. Just select everything manually. That's fine. Cool. Now, yeah, continue does not show, but new game doesn't have the right margin. So that's because so maybe I want to remove continue text from menu items. be very easy to do this in TypeScript, but I'm not sure the proper way of doing it in GDScript. So actually, what I could do instead here, instead of doing any of this logic for conditionally showing, I could say if not show continue, then continue. Does that work? So I basically want to skip. Nope. Oh, sorry. If not show continue. And button text equals continue text. But now this doesn't fix this issue. So maybe it is easiest just to remove continue text. So if show continue, say menu items dot. Okay, what is pop front? Removes and returns the first element of the array. Returns null if the array is empty. So continue button. So I'll have to remember this in the future. If I ever change the order of any of this text here, or add elements, that's happening. Whoop, why is it showing? Oh, because it should be not show continue. Not show continue. Let's try this again. And now it's not showing, which is great, as expected. If I hit new game, exit, start everything up again. Now it should show and it works properly. Great. All right, so I think I have the main menu in a fine place for now. Eventually I'll add settings or whatever. Now the next thing I'd like to do is probably tweak the same thing for loading a game. So rather than all of this being hard coded, I think I want to make this a little more similar to the main menu, where it's programmatically built. Okay, let's just CD, what is this called? Survival game, I think, or something. Yes. What did I change with ammo drop? Oh, I deleted it. Okay, I guess that's fine. Alright, git commit, bunch of changes that I don't remember, plus update main menu to be programmatic, push origin main. Alright, so we're good there. Let's close this all. Let's go to load menu. Now for the load menu here, I believe everything is hard-coded. Or is it? Oh no, wait, I clicked on load menu item. I think if I move this around, yeah, okay, so I guess the first thing I'll do is update the buttons here, because I think I made these all texture buttons, if I'm not mistaken. These all texture buttons. No, these are just normal buttons. So I don't know why I have label on them, because I can just do that there. But anyway, I will make a new scene called load menu action button. And we want this to similar to the menu item button. Should update the name of this. I'm gonna do that real quick. So menu item action button. Name you to menu item action button. And update you to menu item action button. I do think this is probably gonna break other stuff though. Like you need to be updated. Button. Menu item scene, menu item action, button scene, menu item scene, action button scene. Okay, that should be fine. I think Godot automatically knows how to it like automatically updates, yeah, the script name and everything. So I think we're good there. Let's just run this to make sure. Yep, that worked. Great. Now, menu item action button was a margin container. Which I guess I can use again. I'm not in love with it, but it allows me to specify margins. So say load menu action button. And then as a child, we would like just a normal button. Text will be programmatic. It's gonna be almost exactly the same as this menu item action button. In fact, this will be exactly the same. I'd like to be able to reuse the code because it's not doing anything crazy, so there's no reason to worry about it too much. So I'm actually going to okay, first of all, this is starting to get crazy just having a flat structure here. So I create a UI folder and I'm going to move might hate myself briefly for doing this, but I'm going to move all of my UI stuff into that folder. Inventory gain button. I'll leave that there for now. Okay, so Okay, renaming this to just action button. So I can use it between both things. Also, can you become a little bigger? So I know what I'm updating here, renaming this to just action button. And then you also get renamed to just action button script. And actually even here, let's create a new folder. Say buttons, action button. I think then I can delete these the load menu action button, because I haven't done anything with this yet, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's delete that. Hope I deleted the right thing. Now, in main menu here, this needs to be then updated to UI slash buttons slash action button. Okay, been moved and deleted. Now, where do you get used? Okay, so you need to be UI slash load menu item. And I'll move all this stuff eventually, but don't need to do that right now. Let's see if this works. Probably gonna fail somewhere. Particular load game is not working. What's the debugger saying? Errors. Monkey let down, fail to load, res load menu. Is this the main menu here? Okay, yeah, I'm doing manual stuff here, which isn't ideal. There probably should be a better way to load the menu than just changing the scene to the file, but that's okay. Let's see if this works now. It does. Does this work? It does. Cool, so I think we're okay because I only moved menu ask type stuff. Didn't I delete you? Load menu action button? I thought I deleted you. Because you're not doing anything right now. I definitely deleted you. So if I didn't delete you, then I deleted something else. And oops. Okay. Now so main menu, the script is using the correct action button. Now for load menu, rather than having load, delete, and back. Okay, so first off, this load menu for my main menu, I'm using just a control node. Okay, that's fine. But then I have panel container is the outer container. So I don't want this spread anymore. As a child, I want a panel container. And each of these buttons is no longer necessary. So there's a load, delete, and a back. I'm just gonna hide them for the moment. All right, we've got this panel container. So we want the anchors preset to be center. We want the panel container layout mode to be anchors. We also want everything to be centered. We would like the minimum size here. Let's also do 1000 by 1000. Okay, so if we go into our scene, load, That's fine. Now we want the scroll container to be a child of the panel container. Ideally, it'll, whoops, add child. Ah, okay, so now I've got, what am I adding a child here to? SC, what is SC? Scroll container, oh, okay, so we actually want to, the child here now should be, so this is actually margin containers scene, and it's really panel container, scroll container, margin container. There's definitely better naming conventions for everything here. Margin container scene, add child. I think this should now work. Nope. Where am I doing that? Load menu, function ready, line 29. Oh, why didn't this? Okay, so back to Godot being a bit funky here. You actually have to close all of these. That's maybe why I was getting an issue earlier with the main menu or whatever it was. Okay, so those work correctly. I'll get to how these display later. But I'm just gonna focus on, excuse me, the buttons. But first, actually, I think I want the scroll container to be, let's see, can you actually change? So that's set to that. So, can I set a custom minimum height? Let's say like 800, or no, sorry. I want it to fill all the way vertically, but I don't want it to go all the way horizontally. Or no, I take that back. Other way around. But this is fine. Let's just quickly add a... Is there a way to add a background color to a scroll container? I don't think so. Oh, but I was doing that with color rectangle here. So let's just copy this real quick so that we can see kind of the sizing of everything here. What are you yelling about? Okay, scroll container is intended to work with a single child control. All right, so that means I actually want, so you can't do that, but wonder if this is gonna change the background now of, yes, it does change that to white. So really what I'm looking for is another child under here, which is a panel controller or panel container, which the scroll container itself will be a child of. So I'm gonna have to do some renaming of things here. Okay, so this panel container is really the overall, it's just like the it's just the main container. Then we've got the load options container, and then we'll do more. So now we need to update this to container slash load options container slash scroll container slash margin. Thanks for hopping on, dude. I appreciate it. Hope you had fun and have a good evening or day wherever you are in the world. Okay, let's see if this works. It does. Okay, so the color, so this load options container, I don't want it to be the full size. I don't actually want it to fill horizontally the entire way. Ideally, oh, that's perfect. Wait, that's perfect. Why did that? How did it know? Oh, because it's child? Ugh. So its child minimum height is 800, and so it's growing to that height, which is kind of weird. Like the child can dictate how big the parent is. I'm personally not a fan of that, but it seems like, I might be missing something, but it seems like Godot is kind of built that way, for better or worse. So rather than saying scroll container is a specific custom height, we just want it to fill the size of its parent container, and we'll say the parent container's height is, minimum height is 800. No minimum width, we just want it to fill. So I think this should also be the same. That looks right. And we don't really want this like super white color because it's just too much to look at. So we'll just do a gray. That looks better. Let's do like a brown, because that's kind of what it was before. Yeah, that should be fine. Ooh, too bright. Still way too much red in there. This is super not important, but that's fine for now. And I'll get to this later. Okay, now let's work on the buttons. So now we will have, let's see. I guess I do want to do it programmatically, because I don't really like doing any of this stuff manually. So we've got this outer container. We want a child, which is also going to be a panel container. We want to call this the button container. And within here, we want to add a child node of, is action button available now? It is. Oh wait, no, we don't want to do that. Sorry, I take that back. Okay, so we got this button container. We want the layout of this to be, we want it to fill the space. Don't want its size to be 1,000. Why does this one also say that too? It says the Y is 800. Okay, so let's just add a color rectangle here too, just to see what it looks like. No, that's not right. Why are these not playing well together? So this outer panel container is not acting as it's not respecting the children. So it's like allowing the button container to be, what happens if I flip these? I mean, that puts it on top, but the button container at this point is still height of 1,000, so that's not really what we're looking for. So how do we do this? I mean, I could, again, I don't like doing this, but I could just say the minimum height here is 200. Although that doesn't. Oh, no, here's the issue. I don't want vertical fill. I want shrink at, what, shrink end and then height of 200? It works, but I don't like it. Works, but I don't like it. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. So at on ready var button. Oh, and this isn't going to be margin container scene anymore. This should be. Oh no, it is. It's fine. Let's call it. Instead of this being margin container, let's rename this to. Rename load options scroll container, and then rename this to load options margin container. Those are long names, but they tell you exactly what they are. Load options scroll container, load options margin container. Oops, it's an accident. Please stop. And now I need to, unfortunately, close you. Oops. Hold on. Relax, relax. Oh, you're actually showing up in here now? That's weird. But that's fine. Okay, so let's update you to, you're supposed to be load option margin container scene. Load option margin container scene. So now we have button. Button container scene is container slash button container. Great. So now, similarly to main menu, we will have whoa, what is menu items? Hold up. Oh, okay, that's funny. We're actually gonna call this load option items instead of menu items. Load option items down here. Load, there's a faster way to do this, but it's fine. Load option items. Okay, now we say, so we have load game text, we have delete save text. Delete, and then back text. Back text is just back. And load is just load. And so we don't have continue. We have instead delete delete save text. This needs to be updated. Load game text is fine, and then back text. I'll just have that be a string for now. And these are the load action items. Great. So now we have on select. We don't need to do anything with that. So we have on load game button, on delete save button, and on back button down. So say handle. What is this doing? Handle showing save files. And here we're going to handle showing action buttons. So we're gonna say for I in what did I need I for? Oh, that was for, okay, we don't actually need that. So we can say for action in load option item. Load option items? No. In load action items. E. In load action items. We want to get button text equals action dot get text. And the action, let's say action item. So, is action a protected name? It might be. So var action let's just say button action equals action item dot get action. If button text does not equal, what, did I do something with that? Oh, but it actually should, oh no, yeah, does not equal null because we're dealing with and button action does not equal null. I want to do that in the main menu too, but that's fine for now. And what do I do here? I say, all right, I create the new scene. So action button scene equals is there space here? Preload action button. Why is load menu action button still a scene? I thought I deleted you. What are you even doing here? Oh, it must have been because of the error thing. So now I think, yeah. So it now should be, don't save, officially deleted. Okay, great. So now we've got the action button. So here we want to say var action button scene equals action button scene dot instantiate. And then we say action button scene dot initialize, And we want to say button text. Let's not worry about margin right now. And so I'm gonna have to modify button container a little bit, but I'd go, what did I call it? Button container scene. Button container scene dot add child. Oh, action button scene. But first I need to connect the signal. So I say action button scene dot connect. What did I call it? Emit button down. Emit button down to button action. I think that should be valid. So now if we look at our menu here, it doesn't work. Well, oh, because I didn't update these. Okay. So this is self dot on delete save button down, and this one is self dot on back button. This isn't right, I don't think. On load game button down. Cool. Now try this again. Whoops. Try this again. Nope. Invalid type in function connect in base margin cannot convert argument 2 from oops. Did this do it again? Action button. No. Okay, you're fine. Wait. Load menu ready line 61. 61. Invalid type in function connect. Base margin container cannot convert argument 2 from string to callable. Did I do this differently? From string to callable. Maybe, maybe it's because I'm defining it first. Oh, why? Did you do this again? Come on. Godot, please fix that. Every time there's an error, it opens up the script in the script menu, and then it like overwrites stuff. It's super annoying. There we go. Okay, so now those are all on top of each other, which is fine. Now I'm realizing though that that's related to the action button being having expanding horizontally to fill. Which works fine for vertical. No, wait, no. I didn't. I think my issue is actually with button container here. Horizontally, no, wait. So in main menu, I'm using a VBox container for the so I actually want within then button container, I want a HBox container which has the properties. Guess we can just center. It'll fill horizontally and vertically. So we're rather than so I'll leave it as HBox container right now. HBox container. I'm already breaking my naming convention rules. Okay, that actually works. But the buttons themselves, whoops, oh. Okay, everything worked except back. Why isn't back working? On back button down. Change scene, oh. Oh, because you need to be UI/main menu. There's probably a better way to do that. But, load game, back, load game, back. Awesome. So now I want a little bit of margin on each of these action buttons. So I want, I just want 10 everywhere, but it's gonna look a little funky on the left and right. Similar to, yeah, there's like more space in the middle here than there is. I also don't really want this white background, which I can change in here. So I can go ahead and delete all of these buttons that I'm not doing anything with anymore. I don't really care that you have a different color. I actually really want this color to be for the whole thing. Which is fine. Start new game. Exit. Load game. Okay, so now we need to work on this. So these are all displaying properly. And working properly. Great. And I think actually with that, I'm gonna call it an evening. I've been streaming now for almost an hour and a half. And it's 9:30 p.m. and I'm old, so I need to go to bed at a reasonable time. So thanks everyone for hopping on. It was fun. Learned some more about UIs in Godot and got some good coding in. And next time we'll work on the save files, how those are displayed, and then probably work on the just general. Ooh. Oh, I don't have a death state in this, do I? So it could, work on that, I guess. But also work on the UI here just to make it a little bit bigger, more obvious what's happening, centered on the whole screen. So if you change the size of the window, it grows and shrinks with it. And yeah, we'll work on that next time. All right, thanks for hopping on, everyone.